All right, happy Sunday, everybody. Hopefully, you're having a fantastic day. We've got 16 games today. We do have a doubleheader between the Mets and the Cardinals, so we're going to talk about every game briefly. Video is coming out very, very late. Apologies. And then I'll give you my 5 best bets on this wild Sunday. Now, we are only doing half units because Sunday is a wild day in the MLB. All right, let's talk about the recap from yesterday. Absolute poop, 0-4. We're on a skid. We're 4-16 in our last 20 plays. So we got to get right here. So hopefully, Sunday is usually not a great day to do it, but it can happen. And I like the plays. So let's talk about them. Dig into this slate. First game on the card, going to be the Mets and the Cardinals. Blade Tidwell making his major league debut. Again, this is a double header. Eric Fedde on the other side. Fedde not been great. He got roughed up in his last start at home against the Brew Crew. 7 earned runs on 10 hits. So weather-wise, it's going to be okay. 52 degrees, high humidity, mid-pressure. Basically a 12-mile-an-hour wind blowing from left field to right field. Runs are going to be down. Home runs are going to be down. First game on the slate of a doubleheader. I don't expect a crazy high-scoring game. This is not an official play, but I will tell you this is a play I have put in. I am doing Mets first 5 paired with the Cardinals +2. You can get plus 335 value on that. Why am I doing that, you say? Well, Fedde first 5 has not been good. If we look at Fedde, in his last 10 games, Cardinals have only been winning in one of those 10 games. 0-5 in his last 5, 6 for the last 25. Not a great track record first 5. So we're back in the rookie here. It's -120 if you just want to take the Mets on the first 5. But I'm adding Cardinals +2 because I do think it's going to be somewhat of a close game. Not expecting an overly high-scoring affair here in the first game of a doubleheader. And we've just seen morning games on Sundays have been ridiculously low-scoring. So I like that play at plus 335. Just great value there. But no official play in this one. I wouldn't mind like a Mets race to 3 or something like that. Just backing Fedde to not pitch well. The pitch splits aren't great against him, but not sure I want to take a race in a low-scoring affair. Next game, Twins and the Red Sox. Pretty wild game there yesterday with the rain delays everywhere. Just kind of screwed up the flow of all the games. It felt like they had rain delays. But Garrett Crochet going up against Chris Paddock. We're getting the Red Sox at -182. I can't take that. That said, pitch splits for Paddock look god-awful. I wouldn't mind taking the Red Sox on the run line here in this game. So I'm not going to talk about weather in every single game, but there is rain chances in a ton of games today, so you got to be a little bit careful. Next game is going to be the Royals and the Orioles. It's going to be Lorenzen versus Kyle Gibson. Gibson didn't look fantastic in his last outing. He looked real bad. He's got a 22 ERA right now. 0-1, giving up an opponent average of 500. So it was not a great start for him. Lorenzen pitched pretty decent. 3.48 ERA, 3-3, 250 opponent average, just a hair below. Pitch splits look okay for him today. They don't look as good for Gibson, obviously. Royals have all of a sudden just been hitting, which is pretty wild. So I feel okay backing them in the spot. So the official play I have in this one is going to be the Royals first 5 at +102. And kind of conversely to Fedde, Lorenzen's been a first 5 machine. Royals have been winning in 3 of his last 5 starts, 7 of his last 10 starts, 15 of his last 25 starts. So really good first 5 odds here for them. So give me the Royals. First 5, if they tie, it's just a push. But I do expect them to get to Gibson. This guy's an older guy. So is Lorenzen, though. But I like the way Lorenzen's look. So give me Kansas City on the first 5 money line at +102. Next game on the card is going to be, let's see, we've got Padres and the Pirates. Interesting game from the Padres yesterday. I had a nice little 3-leg in this one. I did not put it out to the Discord, and I'm pissed because it hit, but had Vasquez under K's, game total under, and had the Padres +1.5. So that was a really nice payout in that one. Stephen Kolek going up against Andrew Haney. I don't know anything about Kolek. There is rain as a possibility in this game. I like the under. Give me the under 9 in this game. Haney's been pretty damn good, so I think he keeps this Padres team at bay, and I don't think they get to Kolek too much, but I can see why the Pirates are favored here, but still just don't trust the back half of this pen with their 4+ ERA. So I would lean Pirates in this one to take this game, but I do think they have to be careful because they do have the Cardinals coming into town for a divisional series. So I think they're going to be careful about the arms they use today. So that does scare me. This is one I might just live bet this one. I want to see how this Kolek guy looks before I jump into those waters. All right, Rays and the Yankees. Taj Bradley going up against Will Warren. Just not sure I can get behind old Will Warren here. I'm not real sure I want to back him, especially with the Yankees at minus 164, minus 185 on some books. Feels like a good spot to take the Rays at plus money. We saw they struggled to get to Littell yesterday, but I don't trust Taj Bradley. This is one of those, I like runs, but because it's a Sunday and it's a morning game-ish, well, I'll say morning, but afternoon, early afternoon, I don't want to take the over either. So this is just a complete fade for me. Maybe like a Yankees race to 4 or something if you really think they get to Bradley, but nothing I want to touch in that game. Cleveland and the Blue Jays. Tanner Bybee going up against Bowden Francis. Francis has not looked great this year. He has not looked good whatsoever. It's been a complete opposite year from last year. I would lean towards the over in this one. I do like the over 8. I think the Blue Jays should be able to get to Bybee. There's nothing special whatsoever about Bybee, in my opinion. He has struggled against righty bats, giving up a 273 average. Not giving up a ton of hard contact, whereas Bowden Francis is. Francis giving up a 270 average lefties, 278 to righties. So I would lean Cleveland in the over in this spot. Next game, Athletics and the Marlins. Going to be J.P. Sears going up against Edward Cabrera. Cabrera, rough start to the season. 0-1, 282 opponent average, 7.23 ERA. Going up against J.P. Sears, who has been pretty decent. 4-2 with a 2.94 ERA. The way the A's lost yesterday was crazy. Mason Miller gave up a grand slam, a little grand salami. Actually, the Cleveland-Toronto game was a grand salami too. Pretty wild in that spot. Good bounce back spot for the A's. Give me the A's at minus 114 on Profit X. It's like minus 140 on most books. So love the A's in this spot today. Next game, D-backs and the Phillies. We were on D-backs first 5. Brandon Pfaadt had the worst outing of his career. So that was cool. Eduardo Rodriguez going up against Ranger Suarez. Suarez is going to be making his debut. I don't know how long he'll go, but I love the Phillies today. I think they probably should keep hitting off of Rodriguez. Obviously, it's going to be 2 lefties going up against each other, but D-backs just haven't looked great this series. I think the Phillies should be able to get to Rodriguez. His fastball is just, there's nothing special about it. I don't like his slider. I think it's pretty bad. He's going to walk a decent amount of people, I think. So give me the Phillies in this one as an official play, minus 130. I like the spot for the Phillies here. And the D-backs are going to be traveling to play the Mets, I believe, after this. So that should be interesting series there. Next game, Astros and the White Sox. Lance McCullers Jr. and Bryce Wilson. I didn't look into this game. Probably an Astros spot, but it seems like there is a high likelihood that this game gets delayed or doesn't get played at all. So I just didn't spend a lot of time on it. All right, next one is going to be the Cubs and the Brewers. Going to be Imanaga going up against Freddie Peralta. I mean, we've just seen the Cubs just smash the baseball. Peralta doesn't change anything on that perspective for me. Imanaga has been pretty decent, 3-1, 2.77 ERA. Peralta 3-2 with a 2.52 ERA. Both these guys right around 200 opponent average. But Cubbies are hot, man. Brewers are 4-6 in their last 10, lost 2 in a row. Give me the Cubs here. Giving the Cubs at too much value at minus 112. Love that as an official play. Next one, Mariners and the Tigers. It's going to be Logan Evans going up against Jacob deGrom. DeGrom's look fantastic. His first 5 splits have been pretty ridiculous, actually. He's 7 of his last 10, 11 of his last 15. They've been winning. That said, line's a little too juiced up for me today to trust this offense that is just sputtering. So value would be on taking the Mariners at plus money. You can get the Mariners at a pretty nice price, plus 150 on kind of your main book. So don't mind that today. Just can't really get behind that. That said, Corey Seager is supposed to come back today, but probably just this is a game I fade for sure. Rockies and the Giants. We've got Logan Webb going up against Jermaine Marquez. This is a pretty easy one. Give me the Giants to absolutely destroy them. Logan Webb should have a field day. Give me the Giants race to 5 at minus 102 or plus 102 or minus 102. I can't remember what I got it at on FanDuel. And then let me get the Giants first 5 team total over 2.5 at minus 125 on DraftKings. Love that play. Marquez is an earned run machine, dude. He's 0-5, 363 opponent average, 9.82 ERA, only averaging 12.6 outs a start. So that's another thing. His line today is 15.5. It's a little absurd. Wind's going to be blowing out. Basically the same weather we've had this entire series. So I like the Giants score a ton of runs today. All right, next one is going to be the Tigers and the Angels. Flaherty got banged up a little bit yesterday. Didn't help with an error. An error kind of derailed that one. Reese Olson going up against Jack Kochanowicz. Kochanowicz 1-4 with a 278 average and a 5.29 ERA, going up against Reese Olson 3-2 with a 3.55 ERA. If you could find Reese Olson over 16.5 outs, I don't mind that. I think that's like minus 140 on FanDuel. It's a little high price, but I do think he has a pretty nice day today. So like the Tigers here in the spot, would lean taking the Tigers on the run line at pretty decent value here. You can get plus money to take the Tigers on the run line. Good bounce back day for them. Next play is going to be the Reds and the Nats. Oh, the Reds, Nick Lodolo, worst outing of the year, of course, as we back them. That was frustrating. Mackenzie Gore going up against Nick Martinez. I just can't get behind Nick Martinez, man. I know he's pitched okay. He had a really great last outing, probably his best start of the year, but Mackenzie Gore has got strikeout stuff. I like Washington to take this one. I like the over Ks. It's a good spot for them. Pitch splits look terrible for Martinez. Throws a fastball and a cutter. Washington hits those very, very well. They hit the curveball pretty decent. One thing they don't hit well is the changeup, which he throws about 20% of the time. But not sure I can back the Reds here, even at home, going up against such a strong lefty in Mackenzie Gore, who's got a 2-3 record, 3.51 ERA, opponent average of 232. This means Ellie's going to be hitting from the right-hand side where he's not as effective. And I just don't like this team when the lineup they're going to roll out against a lefty. So just not really somebody I can get behind. Yes, Tyler Stevenson came back, blah, blah, blah. But, yeah, just can't roll with the Reds today, unfortunately. Next one is going to be the Mets and the Cardinals. This will be game 2. This is going to be Tyler McGill going up against Andre Palante. Love the Mets in this spot, but need to see what happens in game 2, what bullpen arms they use. I think the Cardinals are going to be a little more judicious about the arms they use because they are playing the Pirates in a divisional game next. So they're going to have to be a little more meticulous. So I want to see what arms they use in game 1, but I really love the Mets in game 2. Would look to back them on the run line, actually, depending on bullpen usage. But you got to remember, it's also going to be a night game. So you got to factor that in. Dodgers and the Braves. Great win by the Dodgers yesterday. Dustin May going up against Bryce Elder. I feel like Bryce Elder is going to have a decent game, actually. I don't know why. I don't have anything to back that. He's been god-awful, but I feel like his slow velocity and all that good stuff could factor in. I think Dustin May has a pretty good day. Sunday night baseball, give me the under 9.5. Sunday night games are generally speaking very low scoring. So I like lack of runs here. I think Dustin May has a pretty decent day as well. So I would lean towards the under, but like the Dodgers here. Only way to find value here on the Dodgers, minus 130 is pretty good on no vig, but run line's not out of the question at plus 120. You're getting pretty dang good value against Bryce Elder. So wouldn't mind the run line here. All right, official plays, and then we'll get you guys on your way. So our 5 official plays, Giants first 5 over 2.5. Like I said, Jermaine Marquez has been just god-awful. Logan Webb's been pitching really well this year. Giants race to 5. If they should get to Marquez, the bullpen's terrible. They're going to score 5 or 6 today. Royals, first 5 at plus 104. Again, if we tie, it's a push, but Kyle Gibson, don't trust him with his 22 ERA in his last start where he got pelted, and Lorenzen's first 5 splits are just fantastic. So like to back them today. Cubs on the money line, just trusting Imanaga over Peralta, who does have some control issues. And then give me the Phillies on the money line. Should be, hopefully we see the Phillies offense just unrake like they did yesterday. But those are the plays, guys. Appreciate you tuning in on this Sunday. Again, these are half unit plays because Sunday, fun day, is a wild day. So appreciate it. and I'll catch you in the next video.